Hi there everyone and welcome back to the RedandbluesiteYT YouTube channel, and it is time for another Palace preview for our Monday night game. It's the big one. It is Palace away to Brighton. nervy about this one. Always got pre-match nerves when it comes to this fixture, of course, for obvious reasons. It's our biggest game of the season. So disappointing in the reverse fixture to concede late on, and in a game where, to be honest, we didn't deserve to win it, and Brighton deserved to get the point. It pains me to say it, but we were very negative in that game at home. I think Brighton, at that stage in the season as well, were vulnerable in the counter-attack. They weren't great defensively, and we didn't take advantage of that. We tried to sit out and grind out a game, and it didn't work in the end, and it was very frustrating. This week, or this game coming up, so important in terms of the season, the context of the season. I came out last week in my review to the Burnley game. It was appalling, and thank you so much for the reaction to that video, guys. Some great comments on there. I've enjoyed reading all of them, or well, as much as I can for a 3-0 defeat at home to Burnley. But after those back-to-back defeats that we've just had, this is so important, this game and the Fulham game, but more so this one, seeing the players react for the biggest game of the season. We've already seen earlier in the week, the Fanatics put out a banner outside of the training ground for all the players and the staff to see when they came into training. And hopefully they react to things like that, to know that the fans, we are all still watching very, very closely, and we are unhappy with how things are at the moment, and hopefully it gives a kick up their arse just to show, you know, the fans are upset and we want to see a reaction. I hope that is what, you know, those sort of things give the team. The big news for me is, will Zaha playing this game? If he doesn't, then I will take a point right now. I will say that. I think it's going to be a much trickier game. Any game without Wilf is tricky, but this game in particular will be very tricky without Wilf, because he's probably the one player who I think really gets himself up for this game. Maybe not necessarily, I mean, 9 times out of 10, the performances that he puts in this fixture are, you know, great and fantastic, and show how much this game means to him. And he's come out many times and said, what's your best game for Palace, your favourite game, your best moment, whatever. All of those questions have had the same answer. It was that second leg of the playoff semi-final against Brighton in 2013, scoring obviously the brace that got us to Wembley and eventually into the Premier League. So he knows better than anyone how important this game is and how much it means to the club, obviously the fans, to win this. And to have him in the team for this game, that is massive. If he is fit, to have him in, even if he's on the bench, to have him in the squad and to be there at the Amex, to have that leadership, that figurehead, you know, in the side, who, you know, he's been there for so long now, and at the club, and he just knows what this means. And I think it's so important to have people like that in the squad. And that's my one worry, is that we got a number of players in the squad who I genuinely don't think realise how important it is. Obviously, it's not a typical derby game, obviously Brighton being where they are and where we are, and obviously the history of the fixtures. It's very unique. It's a unique rivalry, and it's special, and it's very much underrated by other fans, which almost makes it even more intense and more special, because only Brighton fans and Palace fans really understand the ferocious rivalry that we've got with each other, and it almost puts a spotlight more on it, because there's not a lot of interaction from neutral fans, if you get what I mean. So, and because of that, I feel like certain players, when they've signed for the club, I don't know if certain players really get that this is the game. This is what matters this season, is getting results in this game. I think Luca understands it. I think Cahill already will understand it, obviously being a captain at Chelsea and a captain for England. And obviously captaining us for a majority of this season and last season. I think he will understand as well. He would have been brought up to speed. I'm sure players like Wilf, Joel Ward would have brought the players up to speed and what this means. But it's whether or not on the day they actually get themselves up for it and put in the performance to show us and show everyone watching that, yes, this is a big game, and we know how much it means to the fans. It's whether or not they actually kick themselves up the arse to show us. That's the big question for me. Do enough of those players get themselves up for this? And I think having Wilf in the matchday squad will be massive for that. If he is injured and not available, then that is a massive blow. And as I said, I'd rip your arm off for a draw. I would take a draw now, probably. I think a draw in this and beating Fulham is what will be massive. But we can't lose this, especially after the run that we're on. They go above us with the win on goal difference. We can't lose this game. It's so important we don't lose this. Looking at the sides, as I said, I think Mitchell will start in ahead of Van Aanholt. Big news from him. Looks like he signed a new contract extension. Massive for the club, massive for him. So happy for him because he thoroughly deserves it. And it's epitomised, very similar to the way Wan-Bissaka was when he came through. The hunger and desire from a youngster to try and force his way into a Premier League team. It's so hard to do, especially for a team like us that, we don't really give youngsters that sort of chance unless there's injuries or something special coming through from the academy, and he's really earned this spot in the side. For me, he should be our starting left back every day of the week. I think Van Aanholt is, well, I think he'll be gone in the summer, but I don't think he should be starting left back for this season. I don't think he's good enough defensively. Mitchell, I think, offers us a lot more defensively and is improving. I see improvements in him every week. Fantastic if that new contract signing has gone through by now. I think it's fantastic, and I hope he starts off the back of that. I think it'll be a great boost for him if he then starts on tomorrow night, the first game after signing a new deal. That's the sort of boost you want to give a player, and he will understand he started in the reverse fixture and obviously squared up to Lamptey in that game, who's obviously going to miss this game. That's big for us. But squaring up to Lamptey was massive. Showed that he actually knew what the fixture was about and as I've already said, showed that he's got that edge to him, which is good in this game. I think apart from that, it'll be pretty much the same team. I'd like to see Mateta start. I know that as I said, I know he probably won't be up to speed on what this game means to us, but he'll be, he's coming from Germany where the derby days in Germany are really fiery. And he's scored, and as I said, he's someone who scores goals at such a young age. He scored goals at international level and out in Germany at Mainz. I think that he's the sort of player you just need to try and give him a run of games, and hopefully we do. If we go with Benteke again, it'll be so depressing because he's put in there as a physical unit to flick on balls and get people involved in the game. He's not being played as a striker to score goals at all. And I hope Roy doesn't go with him in this game. I really hope, because it would be so demoralising to see that. And I don't want to put Benteke down for that reason. I don't want to, start criticising him or focusing on him, but he's just not. He just doesn't score goals, and we need goals in this game. Who's the most likely striker at the moment to get us the goal? Batshuayi is really not hitting form at all. Mateta's probably the most likely, a new signing, still looking to try and make an impact. Only had 2 appearances for the club, 1 start and 1 off the bench. I feel like he should be starting in this. Zaha, obviously, if he's not playing, you're probably going to see Townsend and Eze out wide. 4-2, 4-4-2, 4-2-3-1, something like that. I prefer us to, I've always said, I prefer us playing 4-2-3-1 with Eze in the middle and Schlupp and Townsend out wide. But whether or not Roy plays that, I doubt it. It'll probably be a 4-4-2, Luca and Gyro in the midfield. Obviously, and at the back, it's probably going to be Cahill and either Chiarte or Dan. I'd rather have Kelly in there. I know he's missed the whole season, he hasn't played yet this season because he came back from an injury and he's been trying to get up to form. And will he be fit enough to really play in a game this fiery or this intense straight back into Premier League football? But he's our most reliable defender, I think. I think whenever Kelly comes into the team, he never has a bad game. He always has at least like a 6 out of 10. Puts in a good performance at least. He's always very reliable, and I really think that he should be put in ahead of Dan or Chiarte, because Chiarte's not a centre back for me for Palace anyway. At an international level, it's different, but for Palace, I don't think he's really filling in a hole there. We had injuries, and that's why he played there. I don't think he's our starting centre back by any means. And Dan's just lost the yard. He's lost it, I think. Dan's just fallen off a cliff, unfortunately. I think he's just at that stage of his career. So I'd have Kelly next to Cahill personally. And Klein at right back, because Klein, obviously another player who came through the academy, knows the importance of this fixture. I don't think he ever played in the fixture himself, but he knows the importance of it. And it's, as I said, just important having as many of those players in the team as possible that get this fixture. I sound like a broken record, but it's so important, this game. As I said, no, we cannot lose this game. We cannot lose this game. In my opinion, we have to win it. But depending on what the starting lineup is and obviously how the game pans out, we'll see whether or not I'll take a draw. But we have to win this, and ideally the Fulham game. If we win, that should be the incentive Roy gives to the players. If we beat Brighton and Fulham, that definitely confirms obviously safety. But I still personally think we're safe because I think there are too many teams below us that are playing poorly. Or have too much ground to make up, and I think we will pick up points as the season goes on to to keep the gap between us and the bottom three. I do think we're safe, but winning against Brighton is going to be, these two games are going to be massive towards that, and getting results in both of them are so important. And it's all about our speed. And, you know, there's not too much tactically I can say about what we should be doing differently tactically. We've just got to do whatever it takes to win this. And it's a derby day, and tactics, I'm not going to say tactics go out the window, because tactics are so important in games like this in general, and the way we set up and approach a game. I just want us to be confident, or to be positive, and not to come into it feeling nervous or easing off, or, you know, 50-50 challenges. Should I go for it, or stay back and try and just hold the shape? Obviously, shape's important, but you've got to have that sort of tempo and ferocity and intent in challenges, just to show your passion, you care. And it also is such a massive way of getting the team up for it. If you go into 50-50, win the ball, I want to see that. I want to just see that intensity and that care, and that the players care. I want to see that. And you know, and I want to see that in every game. Whatever happens in a game, if the players show that, then that's all that matters to me. And you can't criticise that. And if we do more of that, we will get more points in games that we should have got, and we will get something tomorrow if we show that intent and speed and aggressiveness on the counter attack that we haven't shown in weeks now. And so hopefully we get a rocket up the arse from Roy gives a rocket up the arse. So hopefully he has a look at himself as well on how to approach this game, and we get all 3 points. Hopefully we get all 3 points. Please, guys, like, share, subscribe. Give me your teams down below. I'd love to know what team you think he's going to go with. I think it'll be the same team, bar 1 or 2. I think Mitchell will come in at left back. Klein will stay at right back. And will Zaha be fit? That's the massive one. It's looking like from his Instagram he could be fit. He's been posting pictures up of him smiling out on the training field. Whether or not he's going to be ready in time for it, we'll see tomorrow. But we've got to get something out of this game. For me, we have to win it. And hopefully, come tomorrow night, I'll be doing a review of this game, and we will have been off, and it'll be off the back of a nice win away at the Amex. Massive game, massive game. Can we get the points on the board? Let's see what happens. Like, share, subscribe, guys. I'll see you all next time.